Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Opinionated Views with Lindokhuhle. And before we get to the topics that we are going to be talking about today, I just want to send out a special shout out to Lounge Radio and Morgan for including the girl on their website. They did mention that we have a podcast. We launched a podcast, and it's just amazing. And to everyone who keeps on listening to the podcast, thank you so much. And to everyone who sends a comment by inbox on Facebook or on my WhatsApp, thank you so much also. And thank you so much to those who favorite my podcast all the time. Right, so I had posed 2 questions on my social media for everyone to chip in with their opinions, because that's why I get to reach out. Those are my streets. I keep saying that those are my streets, and that's where I get people's opinions. I have 2 questions that I posed on my social media. I struggled with the way I wanted to pose the question. So it wasn't just one question, it was 2 questions. The first question that I asked was, is a woman capable of having 2 husbands, societal standards aside? Because we know the societal standards all the time. And the second question is, if she has 2 husbands and then she gets pregnant, whose surname should the child take? Opinionated use hashtag. And I had a lot of comments from a lot of people who listen to the podcast, and people who don't even listen to the podcast. They were very happy to chip in with the opinions, and I'm very excited to share this with you today. Right. Okay, so now when a woman has more than one husband, it's called polyandry. And polyandry basically is polygamy, in which a woman has more than one husband. That is the meaning. We call having more than one husband as a woman polyandry. That's what it is. Now we're getting to the opinions, or we're getting to the comments where people were sharing their views. The first basically question that I posed was, is a woman capable of having more than just one husband? Is a woman capable of polyandry? But if it has a name, guys, it means really a woman is capable. And besides, there's a friend of mine who showed me a video of a woman who's married to three men, and all of these men are brothers in some other country, right? So it is done in other countries, and it's just us wanting to be monogamous. But anyway, I'm not there. Is a woman capable of having 2 husbands, societal standards aside? Uhle says that she is very capable. There are no special skills that are required. Zinzi Jenny Bila said that she is, and she says I'm going to say we because I'm also female. We are skilled in multitasking. No requirements are required. Chantel says that it is a tradition in some cultures. This is very true. She is very capable. We have women among us having 2 or more men, balancing her relationships accordingly. So it is possible. That is from Nonhlanhla Mahlontiwane. And Innocent Masilela says that my sister was married, had 2 husbands in the early 2000s. So yeah, he thinks that women are definitely capable. I should meet your sister, Innocent. I should meet your sister. Ntokozo Dlamini says that girls nowadays, girls of our age and time, basically can't do that. He says that look at what is happening with these girls of today. They have more than one boyfriend that they sleep with. So what would stop them from having 2 husbands? Think about it. Teen Club Back Mashaba says that why not? Nobody owns nobody, and what happens on the left must happen on the right. I totally agree with you. Guy, I really agree with you. Go to Makoya on Facebook says that she's capable if that will satisfy her needs or that's what she really wants. But speaking of African ways, he says that he believes none on the ages before can be capable of doing such. Now we're just living in a broken society, believing everything needs to be equal, which is wrong. For a woman to do a man's job, it doesn't mean that she's equal with a man. And he says that people get confused on that point because women in our days can be independent and think everything that a man does she's also allowed to do, in which it is wrong. That's a story for another day. The answer that you are asking is yes. Okay, that was the answer that I was asking, the yes. Poima Lulege says that even now labaningi balapo. Freedom Mephisto Sungomane says that most women have more than 2 boyfriends already. Innocent Mashaba says that basically even the man that you have now is not your man. So basically, I don't know what he's trying to say, but that is his opinion. You remember, your opinion matters. Now we're moving right along to the second question that I posed. If she has 2 husbands, this one was most interesting. This is where I got a lot of opinions, actually, more than the first question that I posed. If she has 2 husbands and then gets pregnant, whose surname should the child take? Remember, we are a family and we don't want to point out who, no, when not your father is this one and get pregnant again, no, when not your father. That will create it'll create separation, because now the children will know my father is not your father, my father is this one. So both husbands should be fathers and the child should, well, my opinion is the child should take the mother's surname, so we avoid getting DNA tests and knowing basically who the father is and all of these things. I think that's my opinion, and it matters too. Now, Spiro Mashele says that the father should be, or the child should take the father's surname as much as there are 2 husbands, but there's one biological father. Very correct. And witness Neo Lambani says do a DNA test first, and the results will decide for her. Sandile Leon Gwenyama says that it's possible to have 2 husbands, right? And then, well, Sandile, he answered, okay, basically, yeah, he answered the first question on the second question, which is still fine. So that is his opinion. He said that it is possible for a woman to have 2 husbands. Caesar Courage Rambo Campbell on Facebook says that the one who is earning enough, women must. Ow, why are you generalizing, Caesar? We're not all the same, right? Nordic Spectre says that the father of the child should, the child should take the surname of the father. Yeah, the real one. Spiso Koza says that 10 husbands, Mara, the father is just going to be, biological father is just going to be just one, right? Which means that the child should take the father's surname. Cherry Timfuleni says that if she is able to point who the father is, then his surname must be taken. Yaguva says, Tepiso Ntlani says that the child should take the mother's surname, which is what I said. Ntlantla says that the child should take the father's, the biological father's surname. Tinkla came again and said that double barrel, maybe that is actually a plan. This is a plan, if the child takes both surnames, so that we unite, we are one in this family. Double barrel maybe, but he says he does not think that DNA is needed. It could spark a quarrel. This is what I said. This is what I said, Tinkla. This is basically what I said, because we don't want the family to be to have problems and separate. No, this is not my child. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that because you're the father. We're trying to avoid all of that, right? And Manifest Mabuza says that he's quite confused about this one, but I still think that the child should take the mother's surname. After all, the mother is the one who has two husbands. In fact, the husbands should take the wife's surname also. They should do that. But anyway, those are the opinions that we got on the two questions that we posed on Opinionated Views with Lindokhuhle. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you do get to subscribe and you do get to share. Pretty please, you get to share and you tell your friends about the podcast. And when you're doing your chores, you can literally just binge listen to the podcast. And if you ever have any suggestions on what we can tackle or what we can talk about as a topic, you can hit me up on my social media, Lindokhuhle on Facebook, and I am at Lindo_Khoza with a double A at the end on Instagram and on Twitter.
Computer systems are offline.
The Alchemist feature few, and you are listening to loungeradio.co.
The coolest station online.
Lounge Radio.
Yeah, that's us.
Hi everybody, what's popping? It's a beautiful Saturday. Happy Saturday. The weekend vibe. We're always happy when we get to the weekend, because we work so hard from Monday until Friday, and we keep on waking up and trying again. Even when life is so hard, we still keep on keeping on, if that makes sense to you. But anyway, happy Saturday, and it is another episode of Opinionated Views with Lindokhuhle. I'm very excited for this one. I know, and I'm very sorry, I should have uploaded the episode last week, but life gets in the way, guys. Things are happening. Things really bad things are happening, and things that require us to be sane in a way, as we can't, some of us can't multitask, we can't do this, we can't do that. We need to focus on that situation that you're looking at and make sure that everything is proper. By the time you're done, you can get back to Opinionated Views, sharing your views, and you can get back to social media and just being the person that you are all day. Anyway, with that being said, so much is happening in the country right now. So much is happening. Yo, we have a new King Bay, Mrs. Zulu. Oh, guys. King Bay. Okay, we're not there. We also know about Prince KB being somebody who is considered a cheater, somebody leaking. Oh, I didn't see them. I'm not saying I want to see them. I did not see them. And of course, Black Coffee winning the case. Black Coffee had a case. Mangaloreng Anthem is the ex-wife. So the court has ruled in favor of Black Coffee following the assault case that was later given by his ex-wife Anthem Bali. He announced the news on Twitter. Do we have to live for social media? Because I feel this is completely well, he said Enter's case was dismissed. Black Coffee also thanked everyone who has supported him through this journey. Who's been supporting him? He's been supporting him. But anyway, it's fine. It's none of our business. Of course, we have opinions, because this opinions and views, but it's none of our business. It's not really our business. But anyway, that happened. And we have Usins as well, talking about the hardships of being a mother, and she was pleading with everyone on our publication, saying that check on your friends who are new mothers, because motherhood is something that is not easy. People who are new mothers need all the support that they can get. We're getting to the topic. I know I'm going over and above talking about other people's business, but there's Opinionated Views. Remember, we talk about everything and anything. That's what's happening in the country. But the new king, we we have a new king, guys. Okay, there, but we all live in South Africa, so we can all consider, even if I'm not Zulu, I can still consider him my king. I mean, you know. We have a topic. We have a topic, and the topic is about relationships, of course. And I was asking, does education play a role when you're choosing a partner? You know, is it something that you consider when you're looking for a partner? Because other people are telling you about standards or something that we've already spoken about, and of course your opinions matter, and people had something to say about this as well. Very, 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 very interesting things, I must tell you. So when you are choosing a partner, do you choose one that's educated, or you just go with the flow? If you like a person that you like, that you feel you can spend the rest of your life with, the rest of your life sounds like a death sentence, but that you feel that you can share your life with. Is education important in a relationship? That is the question. And of course, we have comments. And the first comment was from Lindokhuhle Fortune Koza, and he said that it is not important as a man because you are also a provider in your household. So even if girl is not educated, is fine. He says he is going to provide. Right, Gakhulu. You are the one, or you are the one causing. Lwazi Zulu said that bafatla bafundile bayathethisana. Maybe he won't go, but he's just playing. I know Lwazi is probably playing. President Kim says that for her, as long as the person seems to be trying and has a direction, then they're good. Education is not important. Matsulu Lucky King says that women who are educated give you stress. You end up drinking even when you don't want to drink. And then Temba Play Morgan said that we are now talking about standards, and he says that he will not date a girl with no qualification or a hustle nyana. And he says that women who don't do anything are very problematic because they're always asking for favors. Bahlalele cela ngoba bathembe ukuthi they, you know, bamnandi. I don't want to translate that. We have the Black Spider. He's a DJ. That's his stage name, but his real name is Mabizweni Wami. He's Lindokhuhle, and he says that he prefers a hustling woman with or without education. She must understand that you gotta work for money. Thabo Shadung says that education is the key to success. She's working. I'm also working. Bright future for the little ones. Very, very interesting. And Diego Mota says that he would choose a woman who is positive about life, who believes in hustling and who is full of respect, who is God-fearing, and she must also believe in cultures. Education is just a bonus. Zakele Talks Lekuleni says that NQF level 6 at least, then they can talk. So he prefers women who are educated. And Lihle Kebu says that he prefers a woman that has an entrepreneurial mindset with or without education. And he says that he knows that they can build something if the person is entrepreneurial mindseted, if there's such a word. And he says that she must also learn to balance social life with her hustle. And Sibonelo Mabuza of Ruling Party Beverages, I'm advertising for free. One day you must pay me to do this. Sibonelo Mabuza says that he wants brains. Yeah, brains, basically. Yeah, education all the way. Thank you for commenting, sharing your opinions on the topic. It is very interesting to know that people you just have to have direction. You just have to have direction. Whether or not you're educated, we know people who are graduates who are not working, so at the end of the day it becomes sort of like a piece of paper that's sitting collecting dust, because you're applying. We know the situation that we are in the country. You just keep on applying for jobs and you're not even getting the job. When people who are not educated, who are not depending on diplomas or their degrees, are out here hustling and getting the paper, getting the Mandelas. So it's important that we think businesses is basically being both street smart and book smart. You need to balance. You need a good balance of the two. It's taking us back there, because if you are just going to be book smart, how are you going to survive this country? Anyway, that's my opinion. Education or no education, just don't depend on just education. It is good to learn. Education is very important, because to some extent you need to learn how to read that contract, so people don't get to play around with your money and you don't even know it. You need to learn how to read and balance stuff. That's where education comes in. Anyway, don't depend on just education. That's why a lot of people, I think, feel if you are hustling, if you have direction, then we can talk. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Opinionated Views with Lindokhuhle. Check me out on Spotify. Follow the girl. I'm on Spotify, Lindokhuhle. If you type Lindokhuhle, Opinionated Views is just going to appear at the top right there. Follow me and subscribe and just share, your opinions all the time, because they matter. Anyway, thank you.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go.
Hey yo, this is the only big black man himself, BBM. You are listening to loungeradio.com, the music heaven. Big ups.